Namaste, viewers, and welcome to the Ex Christian Show. This segment of the show, where I converse with other former Christians, is going to be different today. In that, who we have today identifies himself as a practicing Christian. But what is unique about him and what makes him the ideal candidate for this show is the fresh perspective that he brings to the whole debate on conversions, on missionary activities, and the RSS. Yes, our guest is Jerome Anto, and he likes to be identified as one of those very early and very few Christian members of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Jerome openly calls out on things about church and Christianity that other practicing Christians even fear to think of. Welcome to the Ex Christian Show, Jerome, and namaste.
Namaste.
So, first of all, you are a practicing Christian, right?
That's right, yes.
But I want to add here, and correct me if I'm wrong, you are a progressive thinking Christian who is cognizant of Christianity's practices in the past and present, and more importantly, you are courageous to speak out about them. In that sense, I actually should congratulate you for being the person, which, by the way, is not an easy feat while still being a part of the church.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So, begin by telling us how you ended up in the RSS.
So, I remember many years back, as a student, I happened to see Shaka, and I actually inquired with a friend of mine, and I was very attracted to the Shaka. I saw a few members in shorts, khaki shorts, uh, doing some exercises and parade, and I was very attracted. I actually asked my friend, who happens to be a Christian. I asked him what actually happens there, and then he said, this is the RSS, and Christians are not supposed to be part of it, because I insisted that I wanted to know about it and I wanted to join them. But my friend who warned me, saying that not to join the RSS because the RSS is anti-Christian. So that intrigued me. It was always there in my mind. But in the last few years, probably 6, 7 years, after I being part of the Bharatiya Janata Party as a member, I got in touch with a lot of RSS members. And during those interactions, I found that they're very welcoming. And when I got into discussions about why do they hate Christians, it was very clearly told that they never hate any Christian or any minority for that matter. So that gave me an opportunity to interact more, and finally I realized that the demonization that has been happening all throughout, what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing on the news, is all false, because the church in particular, the clergy in particular, and the church leaders in particular, including lay people, they always demonize the RSS. And I found that this was not true. And as a Christian, I understand that it is important that such false narratives need to be negated, needs to be cracked upon. And being part of the RSS, I found myself more welcoming. And it was the other side of the coin. So I just joined them, and I've been an active member of the RSS, and I'm really happy to be there.
So, it seems to me that from whatever you are saying, that you did not have much struggle to reconcile your faith with your membership in the RSS.
There was never an opportunity for any kind of reconciliation, because there was a taboo that was being spread about the RSS, which was not true when I met them. It was not that it was a one-off opportunity, because in every discussions, in every chats, in every interactions, I have always found them to be very welcoming. So if there was if if the truth was something else, I would have got to know by now. It's almost 6 to 7 years that I've been in the RSS, and as of date, I'm only growing in relationship with them. So it is false to say that the RSS is anti-Christian, anti-minority, and I want to prove it. And I think my very existence proves that.
But The church is known for its vindictive approach toward people that do not fall in line with it. Did you face any backlash, and how do you handle it, if at all you handle it?
Gone are the days. It was 100 years back. Probably 100 years back, I would have been probably excommunicated from the church. But with the growing number of splinter churches, every Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary starting their own church, I don't find any threat at all, because if the church decides to throw anybody out of its community, out of its walls, then that person knows what to do. He will start his own church. I don't dare doing it. I don't intend to do it. So there is no monopoly of the church as of now. That the church has lost it, because there are a lot of Catholics who have left the Catholic Church and started their own individual private churches. So that monopoly has gone. It is no more the Roman Catholic Church which is the monopoly, which is the sole owner of the church. Not even the Protestant Church, because I find in my own street there are 10 different churches, 10 different people operating 10 different churches. So that monopoly is no more there.
But what about the ostracization by your family, by the fellow Christians that you were raised with, or that you hang out with? So there's that distancing, right? They don't want anything to do with Jerome, because he's now an RSS member, and RSS is anti-Christian. So did you face that?
Yes, thank you so much for asking that question. Um, yes, my initial days was with the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party, and I gradually moved to the RSS. The fact that I was part of the BJP itself, I realized that I was not welcomed in many of the Christian uh, social gatherings. Ostracization, I don't really care. I don't really care. Neither does my family care. Thankfully, my family supports me, and we at least my wife supports things alike. So there is no question of any kind of backlash. But yes, from a society point of view, because the Christian community is very close knit, the very fact that I was the part of the BJP and then the part of the RSS has made a lot of impact on us, socially distanced us. They look. This was initial days, but we really didn't care, and we stood our ground. So that has actually proved a point to them, saying that we will not change, and we never really cared for them. But we have a lot of people. I remember the initial days, a lot of WhatsApp messages, a lot of people talking bad whenever we go for any social gatherings, weddings especially. People used to say very bad things, very pinpointed things, and which I knew it was aimed at me, but we didn't really bother. A lot of people still message me, send WhatsApps, and most of them are fake ones. And I witch hunt them when such fake messages and WhatsApp videos come. I witch hunt them to such an extent that they have blocked me. So
Wow.
it is a one way. It's a one-way attack from my side, especially Christians who challenge and who spread the fake narrative about the RSS. I have taken them head on, and most of the time it is they who have blocked me. They who have left me, which means that they were the ones who are wrong and not me.
So you were raised with these anti-RSS narrative, but then you end up going into the RSS, being an active member, and then you realize that that was a false narrative, and all those allegations have no basis in truth. In fact, what is said to be anti minorities is wrong. I mean, RSS being anti-minority is wrong. Um, it's actually the church being anti-majority. Can I say that?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So that's what is your experience. So
Well,
for a Christian to know what RSS is actually, uh, one has to just go inside and look for themselves.
Absolutely. Half the people, even the clergy, do not know what actually happens in the RSS, the shakas. They don't have even a splinter of an idea. It's only hearsay, and more than hearsay, I think it is more of a propaganda. I realized this very much because I did a lot of research to find out why is there a hatred? Why is there a hatred? And I found that the in the earliest of days, during the Constituent Assembly after India becoming independent, when the Constitution was being made, was being drafted, there were a couple of Christian members who were actually responsible for some additions in the Article 25, which is right in the right to religion, and a couple of members from the RSS and a couple of people who were from the majority community had objected to it. And you will not believe, even the Hindus do not know about what happened. Even I won't be surprised, even the RSS would not know what actually happened. The right to equality, Article 25, has three different clauses, which is right to worship, right to practice, right to profess, and right to propagate. Believe me, this is I have actually gone deeper into it. The word propagate was actually added into the constitution uh, by the virtue of two Christian members who are part of the of the Christian community. So there were objections, and if you look at propagate is more to do with conversion. Okay, because I find that the Christian community, after having Christianized across the various civilizations, India was the next destination for them. And India being the only civilization which has not been overtaken by the Christian community, I find that there was some kind of a discussion and that there is some kind of a push and pull there. That is where I feel that there is some kind of an animosity that developed. And over the years, the Christian community has actually made inroads and actually gone deep into the conversion activity. And to a large extent, I think there's nothing wrong because the RSS had objected to it in many ways. So that is where I see that there is a lot of not I won't say it's clashes, but a difference of ideology, and probably that is what has seeded. And over the years, it has only become more.
So you made a reference to BJP, right?
That's right.
So
Yes.
along with all these allegations against RSS, there are these recent allegations that the current ruling government is pro-Hindu and has suppressed Christians and curtailed opportunities to them. Is there any truth to that statement, to that allegation?
No, which it is not true because one of the earliest members who was given a ticket for the member of parliament to stand for the elections was a Christian. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about the time when Vajpayee government was there. So it is a false thing to say that Christians were not given opportunities because this particular person who stood from Bangalore was a recently retired person from the police department, and then he was given a seat and he won by a huge majority. But then, unfortunately, for him, he went on to say that I will make BJP, that's the Bharatiya Janata Party, as a Bharatiya Jesus Party. These are unwelcome things. I don't think so. It was right for anybody to say that. And eventually, he actually voted against the BJP in the parliament, and then he had to leave. He was out of the government. So it is not true. The BJP has given opportunities to everybody. In so much to say that it has allocated so much of benefits for the minority. So it would be wrong to say that the BJP is anti-minority. Second and most important thing is this: I want to ask the people who watch this program, how many Christians have supported the BJP? How many Christians have supported the BJP? There are I do not know if you all know the BJP has a minority wing, a minority wing. How many Christians are there in this minority wing? And if these Christians are there in the minority wing, how have they contributed towards the BJP or towards the government? I find a few Christians who are there in the BJP who are part of this minority wing doing nothing because they are there only to extract benefits. They're not there to vouch what the BJP government is doing. The BJP government is doing an enormous amount of activities both for people across the gamut. But I don't find the Christian members in the BJP voicing it out. So it is a false narrative again to say that the BJP is anti-Christian or anti-minority.
Going back to RSS, RSS is Seva Sangh. Okay, common sense. I mean, from the word itself. So I've derived that from common sense. It's a Seva Sangh and a Sangh of Sevaks,
Yes,
people that
yes,
serve. So in other
yes,
words, it's a service oriented organization.
absolutely.
So how is the service that RSS does different from the service that Christians claim, or Christian organizations or Christian missionaries claim that they do or did? So how do these two services differ from each other?
You must see me smiling because I'm really eager to answer this question. Because when I said service without expecting anything in return. The RSS is there at the click of a button whenever there is any kind of catastrophe without any reason, without any expectation. Selflessly, they go and do the service. Believe me, I've been part of these sevas. There is nothing called a demand, there is nothing called an expectation. People come forward and do it, irrespective of what the missionaries tell, irrespective of what the liberals tell, irrespective of what the communists say about the RSS. The RSS members don't bother about it. They are there voluntarily ready to do service. Second thing, second and most important thing, which you and I'm sure everybody would like to know, since you compared the service of the church and the service of the RSS, the church also does service, right? But when it is doing service, it also keeps a donation slip. It also keeps a donation box, and it says that we are doing this. Please donate to us. Apart from this, whatever service is being done here is showcased to people in other parts of the world to ask for more donations to help fill their coffers. So the USP of the RSS is no expectation, no expectation, and that is what I call seva. Seva means no expectations, doing selflessly, without expecting anything in return, and that is the USP, the unique selling proposition for the RSS. Cannot compare this with any organization in this country.
What if I say that their expectation is a Hindu Rashtra through this seva?
First of all, what is a Hindu Rashtra, according to
Um,
you?
yeah, whatever they're alleging now. So RSS is doing everything towards this big grand agenda of bringing Hindu Rashtra,
Hindu.
making India a Hindu country, basically declaring India as a Hindu country. That's the alleged agenda that RSS has. So tying it with the service aspect that you just said, that they don't expect anything. So what if I have to say that they're doing all this service in order to usher in the Hindu Rashtra? So that is an expectation, right?
Okay, so me being a Christian, what if I say I also want to have a Hindu Rashtra?
That would be shocking, actually.
You know why? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. When I said Hindu Rashtra, it does not see, it does not disseminate the other religions, right? What I'm saying is this: Hindu Rashtra is nothing but an ideal country, because Hindu Rashtra is not against the minorities, first and foremost, not against any kind of minorities. It is a country where everybody can live peacefully and everybody has a right and a duty corresponding and follows it. This is what history has told us. History has been witness. Because if you look at it, the Jews were persecuted in every part of the world. The Jews were persecuted every part of the world. But when they came to India, they were safe. The Parsis, when they were persecuted, they came to India and they were safe. They were happy. Till today, I don't think so. The Jews or the Parsis have complained anything about minority torture, minority persecution. Right? So I'm talking about a Hindu Rashtra where everybody can live peacefully and mind their own religions. That is what a Hindu Rashtra believes in.
So you're saying that is not possible if there is a Christian Rashtra in India?
Well, history has been witness to it. We don't need to experiment it in India. We have seen Christian empires, annexations across the globe. They have destroyed every possible ethnicity. You ask, you are the Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish, the American, the Australian, you name it, and every possible civilization they have destroyed. And why should they try? Why should we give an opportunity? I'm sorry to say this, but why should we? Because this is a Hindu country, a majority Hindu country, and see, Christians are here as a religion of their choice, and if they believe that salvation is as per them, so be it. But this is Hindu country, right? And a Hindu country where everybody lives in peace, and that is what is an ideal country as per me. Because you tell me which country, which part of the world Christianity went, and there was peace.
True. Yeah, history is a big witness, and history is a
It's
great.
a time-tested example. We don't need to reinvent it. We have seen it across the globe. Every possible civilization has been destroyed. Probably Hinduism is the only civilization which has stood like a wall. And I don't think so. We should allow any religion to take over apart from Hinduism.
Okay, I like that interesting take. You being an insider of the church and still being a practicing Christian, saying that talks about, which is why I said you're a progressive thinking Christian. The label aptly suits you. So that brings me to the question on conversion. See, I mean, I don't like to go into long discourses with my guests, but when it comes to convergence, I definitely have a very big point to make, and which is Christianity claims that converting from Hinduism is like lifting oneself out of a filthy pile of garbage and walking into what they call is life, quote unquote life. See, the very words that I am the way, the truth, the life imply that anything other than Christianity, and in this case, particularly Hinduism, is a dead end, falsehood, and Hindus are in a metaphorical death state. And I don't know if you ever prayed like this or pray like this, but I remember being taught a prayer as kid and as Hindu converts, saying, "Thank you, God, for saving me from the filthy life and finding me worthy of your salvation." So here, filthy is life as a Hindu prior to conversion, and they go on to say that. Thank you, Jesus, for lifting up from that pile of garbage and putting me on the path to salvation, on the path to life. So they've been they've been demonizing for centuries. I mean, for centuries. This is not a recent phenomena. And for centuries, pastors have been criticizing the Hindu way of life, standing at pulpits Sunday after Sunday, right? So they have openly called Hindu gods powerless to solve problems of their devotees. Now it's a different matter that the concept of the Christian God is different from the concept of Christian personal God is different from the Hindu concept of God. And the Christian God interferes in daily affairs of man, and Christians have no clue about this difference, right? And they continue to look at things through the lens that they invented themselves. But that's beside the matter. My question is, my question to you is, does the Christian God provide immunity from pain and suffering to the people that have converted? And because why did they convert? Because their Hindu God was incapable of providing the same. Right? This is what the pastors say. So I want to hear from you. Is there any change? I mean, are Christians immune to pain and suffering even they have converted from Hinduism to Christianity?
Okay, you are a Christian scholar, right? And I think you spent almost 4 or 5 years learning theology. Uh, and I do not know where how you missed a particular point. I have to ask you a question. Uh, the New Testament, which is where the New Testament, the whole New Testament. I have one question to you. I'm sorry asking this question. Who is pivotal in the New Testament?
Jesus. I
Well,
mean,
thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted that answer. Um, I have a Bible. I hope you can see it. This is actually a Catholic Bible. I have a joke for you. Do you know what is the difference between a Catholic Bible and a non-Catholic Bible?
there are many differences. Depends on what difference you are talking about.
Okay. So normally Catholics, the Roman Catholic Church, for a good amount of time, didn't allow its people to read the Bible, discouraged its people to read the Bible. Okay, as a Roman Catholic, because I am telling you, we were staunch Catholics. My parents were staunch Catholics. I used to go to church regularly, never miss mass. So one of the things what was taught to us was never to read the Bible, not to read the Bible, unlike the other denominations. But I hope you see this. This is a tone Bible because it has been written multiple times, which means then it has been used many times, right?
Abuse.
I, yes, okay, fine, abused or whatever. I want to now since you because look for me what Jesus told is important. Okay, not Peter, Paul, John, Mary, Harry, Jack, Angel, because you said Jesus is pivotal in the Bible, correct? You agree on that?
In the New Testament, yes.
Yes.
I mean,
So I
yeah,
will
he is the central figure of Christianity if you remove Paul. If you remove the politics, theologically, Jesus is the pivotal figure.
see even Paul, for that matter, he didn't speak anything about beyond Jesus Christ, correct? And he had not met Jesus, as far as my knowledge is concerned, until as long as Jesus was there. Am I right?
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't.
He
Even
didn't.
though they were contemporaries.
Never contemporary, but he never met. There's no encounter between Paul and Jesus,
He did
correct?
not meet the earthly Jesus. Yes.
So yes, I'm talking about the earthly Jesus. So I have a verse from the Bible which I want you and I want all the people who are listening to this and viewing this. First of all, Jesus told very clearly, I have come for the Jews. I have come for Israel. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, which means that it is not applicable to Hindus and the Gentiles.
Yeah.
So, where is the question of getting demonized? Where is the question of us Hindus being inflicted upon all these wraths? What is being told in the Bible? Because Jesus is told very clearly, I have come for the Jews. And if you see every every parable he is quoted is what the Jews are doing wrong. The Good Samaritan story. You talk about any parable what Jesus quoted, and for example, in the temple when he made a whip and started whipping, it was all against the practices of the Jews. Israel was a small country as per the Bible, as per the Bible, Israel was God's chosen people. And I think the Christians need to know that as per Jesus also, it is limited to Israel only, God's chosen people. 6 to 7,000 years old, correct? Israel
Correct.
should be, as per the Bible, 6 to 7,000 years old, whereas Hindu civilization is close to 10,000 plus years old. So everything, whatever is being told by Jesus, is for the Jews and not for the Gentiles. I will quote it in the Bible. He's told very clearly, do not go to the Gentiles, go to the Jews only. So, which means that, see, as per the Bible, God chose Israel, and whatever He has told is for the Jews only. Okay, He has told, don't go to the Gentiles. Gentiles or pagans, whoever it is, don't go to them. Then how is it applicable to Hindus? Is my simple straight question. I do not
So you're
want to.
basically saying that Christianity, India does not need Christianity.
No, on a holistic part, on a global perspective, I think Christianity, Jesus, since we are talking the focal point as Jesus, Jesus told very clearly it is for the Jews, it is for Israel. I think that is what I understand because I can't mince words. I can't read between the lines. Okay, and I do not want to listen to Paul or anybody else because Jesus is pivotal and Jesus told very clearly, I have come for the Jews. God's chosen people, they have gone, they have sent whatever it is there, and God sent people for Jesus for the Jews. So according to me, Jesus is applicable for the Jews only. The
So he's
atrocities
a
was
local god, basically, local to
exactly.
Jews.
No, I'm not saying by my thing. I'm going by the Bible. I'm going by the Bible. What the Bible says very clearly. It says, "I have come for my people, the Jews." It is told multiple times. Jesus is told. In fact, there is one incident you must listen to it. I'm sorry, but I'm forcing you to listen to this.
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
Matthew 15:24 to 26. Jesus left that place and went off to the territory near the city of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman who lived in that region came to him. Son of David, she cried out, have mercy on me, sir. My daughter has a demon and is in terrible condition. But Jesus did not say a word to her. His disciples came to him and begged him, send her away. She is following us and making all this noise. Then Jesus replied, I have been sent only to the lost sheep of the people of Israel. At this, the woman came and fell at his feet. Help me, sir, she said. Jesus answered, I want people to listen to it. It isn't right to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs. Matthew 21:26, chapter 15.